Good night. Good night.
Good night. Oh,
Oh,
three months is joined. Wait. This is probably the wait. Okay, welcome back to Active Media. We give videos every week. Recently, it's been about football and stuff like that, but we have uh, a topic today would be how to approach women. Something that these two guys know very well.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me. I'm retired.
just
That's not
cool,
my life, man.
man.
I understand you're retired, but you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
I'm busy with a clothing brand. I don't even have time for women.
nah, I heard that. I heard that.
Always have time for women. Well,
Nah, not me, fam.
I'm moving from the modern stove and I'm going back to the Stone Age. I'm just a coal fire stove, man. One
Nah,
burner.
man.
One
The
burner.
game's changed, fam.
Exactly.
These women are different now, fam. I don't want no
For
part of
real,
this.
for real,
Yes,
for
that's
real.
why it is important on how to approach these modern females. Back then
Oh no, you're
it
right.
was a yeah, it's a lot. Back then it wasn't easier, but you had less
Yeah,
fear
it was easier
because
because everything was you had a certain amount of dates, and after a certain amount of dates, you knew where you stood. Nowadays, it's just these girls aren't serious, fam. I would rather go to another country
I
or go
blame the men.
Birmingham or Manchester. They know how to treat a man.
Manchester.
Blame the men.
For real.
I said blame the men. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I blame the men because
Go,
here's the deal. Here's
go
the
on,
deal, right? Listen me out. Listen me out.
go on.
The reason why I blame the men, right? And we have to look at it. It's coming back from single people raising single people. Single mothers raise their daughters to be single moms. And we have to admit that. Because here's the deal. They don't have a partner. They are not the best at choosing men. You see, you see a man, right,
Mm.
has 10 baby mamas. No,
All right,
this guy ain't take.
yeah, but at the same time, it's like you see, you can see a fire. You're not gonna put
Hey,
your
rough,
hand in the
rough, rough.
fire, are you? It's common sense. You're born with common sense. You know if you want that lifestyle or not. Oh, you want a man to put what X amount of carrots up your hole? Come on, it doesn't make sense.
You know, what my mother said to me that I had to think about. Why
Uh,
do they call it common sense when it's not really common? A lot of people lack that specific sense, right?
mm,
Women make decisions off emotions, right? If the
mm,
guy says, "Oh, he comes with sweet words," I tell you, I can lace my mouth with sugar and everything I say would sweet that woman,
no, I
right?
believe that.
You
I
can
would
lace it.
literally I would put sugar on my tongue to ensure that everything that I say is sweet.
Mm,
That's lines right there, man. Right?
Mm.
And then once you say all of these, it's a whole different ballgame. Once you get them in that specific zone, right?
mm,
It's not game over, but you got your foot through the door. It's what you do afterwards though, right? And we have to put it back to us as men being men, right? Because it's not women who choose whether they get married or not. It's us men.
okay, but women choose to have. Oh, oh, there you go. But women choose to chat to more than. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. No,
I
but
can hear
women
you.
choose to chat to more than one man at one time. Women choose
Sometimes.
to be dressing all skimpy and that. Women choose
Yeah,
to
but
do a
you
lot of
see,
things, bro.
it still comes back down to men being men.
Oh,
Let me ask you this: if you're with a woman, they will say, "Oh, you're insecure."
Oh, okay. No, but women
They
choose
will
to
say,
chat
"Oh,
to more than one man at one time.
you're
Women choose
controlling,"
to
right?
be dressing all skimpy and
But
that.
would you allow your
So
daughter to go out half
it
naked?
comes down to men being men. Let me
ref, stop putting the YouTube thing on.
oh,
Put it off. It's repeating.
We're getting feedbacks in the mic.
We're talking about how to approach women.
Yeah.
How to approach women. How to approach women.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
well,
how
that's
to
one of the
approach women.
Hmm.
topics.
That's the topic right now.
Yeah. So it goes back to what I was saying before. You have to have boundaries, right? This is me sidetracking before we get back on topic, but these are things, these are certain factors that we have to have as men. Boundaries. You're not insecure if you have boundaries. Preference, right? Everyone has preference. Some like sweet stuff, some like salty stuff, right? Some like fluffy women, if that's the correct term, right? Some like them slim. Yeah, that's the proper term. Some like them fit. Everyone has women like men who are 6'5" and up. I kid you not. I am not 6 foot yet. I'm not 6 foot yet. I'm still in my growing phase.
You are 6 foot. You're not on the 6 foot.
Yeah, but this is the thing. These girls have unrealistic expectations, right? How is a
But I
5'2" girl talking she wants a 7-foot basketballer? What are you gonna do with that? Come on, let's be real.
Simple. What do you have? And this is the thing. They're talking to a 7-foot basketballer. This is where knowledge comes in.
Thing is, there's levels. The same way there's ugly men, there's ugly women, and some women need to stay in their lane. If you're ugly, you can't be going for these prestige guys. So you need
self-awareness. But there you go, self-awareness.
No, don't
get me wrong.
Pushed that though. Don't you think society's pushed that though? Like all women or big women are meant to be, involved in everything. It's not bad to be fat, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Society's kind of pushing things, don't you think?
Society, what is happening now is we're seeing where everybody's accepting of everything when it comes to women, but still shaming on the man's half, right?
Yeah.
So women want the responsibility of a child, right?
But
they want the power of a man, right? And they want the special treatment of being a woman. You saw how much mental gymnastics you have to perform to want so much things at once. No,
this is the problem.
I've seen ugly guys pull some beautiful women, but you see, it comes back to charisma. It's not even money, charisma. Hold on, charisma.
It's not money, it's not nothing. It's just confidence, man.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I've seen guys with money.
It's just money. Is money or confidence? That's what
definitely confidence.
Mostly confidence. Right? Not money. Let me tell you.
Because they have some money or cars.
No, there's no money there, bro. It's confidence.
Brother,
let me tell you.
Sometimes it's money. It's true.
No, give an example. In a club, when you see girls, a guy in a club.
Don't give me the same look as me before in a higher bag than I was in a Mercedes.
Wait. Let's hear an example. Wait.
Like in a club, for example, when you see some guy that's not even good looking, and he's moving to a girl that
has a Rolex or a fat chain.
I've seen it many times before. He hasn't got nothing.
But
ain't got nothing.
Is the Rolex real?
It's only short term. He's pulling
he ain't got nothing, boy.
About long term.
I'll give you an example. BK's knows this guy here that's not even good looking at all. Boy, this guy is not good looking at all. He's actually ugly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask.
This guy can get girl, and BK can't do it because he ain't got confidence.
Yeah, but does this guy have money?
Hold on. Let me ask one question, because
he ain't got nothing, man.
Does he drive?
Hold on. Let me ask. Let me ask one question. When we're talking about this, are we talking about a long-term relationship, or you just want a quick hookup? That is the thing we have to talk about.
But this is about approaching, isn't it? So
yeah, it's about approach. But you have to ask yourself before you.
If the guy knows how to talk, the girl will listen to him because he's got confidence. That's all.
Yeah, but
confidence.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
There's some good-looking guys in the club. You can clearly see the guy. This one's better looking than that one. The girls listen to the one that's not good looking.
Yeah, but I'm talking about long term. To pull a girl in the club, that's kind of easy to do. But after the little fantasy wears off, I'm talking about long term when you're living together and the bills are stacking up.
That's why we're going.
You mean a guy that's spotters and he's married to a beautiful girl. Or something like that.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
That man have to come with everything else. Otherwise, that man is blessed in other areas than his face. Trust me.
Overlook the looks if he's secure.
Because You know why? Because they don't
Yeah.
like. It could
I've
be
seen
good
this, you
looking,
know.
but the guy
It's posted
can't
on
talk.
TikTok. Some white guy,
Could-
and
the-
he met some girl in, like somewhere in Asia, and
Oh,
he looked
Bishop
jacked
says
compared
some
to
girls
most
like
people.
shy guys. But let me ask you this, Bishop, and this is a question. If the guy is a shy guy, he will never approach you,
No
right?
girl
And we
like
see
that.
this a lot in Japan,
No girl
right?
like
It's
that.
true. It's true. It's true.
There's some
A
girls
lot,
like that.
like I've learned,
Shy
shy
guy.
guys finish
Yeah,
last.
yeah,
I would
Yeah, a
love to
shy
see
guy.
girls like to
I would love to
Some
see
dominate
girls,
and
some
manipulate
girls
the
like
guy.
give tips, don't it? They like tell them
I
like
would love to see.
they like little hints.
Unless they
you know
want
what I
to,
mean?
unless they want to control the guy. Some girls like to
Yeah,
control
yeah,
the
that's
guy,
what I'm
not to be in
saying. If
charge.
they want to control it.
No, yes, no. Shy guys are not necessarily simps, right? But they're not the best at socializing. We have to
But they don't have any
understand that. For
confidence.
Yeah, but
instance,
that makes you a simp then.
yes, no, simp is a person who would do anything to get a validation from female, thinking that will get him access to the pum pum.
Okay, not
That
a
is
simp as
that is a
such,
simp.
but he's a form of a simp in the sense of if I'm
You
more
wouldn't
vocal,
say.
I can
If the girl's in
intimidate him.
control, then there's something wrong with that guy, bro. That's why
I
some
wouldn't
of them
say.
like
Let
that.
me tell you, you have to think about circumstances versus, like, you can't say a shy guy is a simp. You have to think about the circumstance. For instance, what if when this guy had his confidence, like he approached? Now, listen to me. Women will crush your ego right down to the
If you
floor.
let them.
You can imagine
If
this
you let
guy.
them, though, if you let
If
them,
if you let them, but can you
Nah,
imagine this guy
if you let them,
would approach a girl,
you need to be,
right? He approached a girl.
up. You can't
So
let a girl
you
do
guys
that.
never,
If you let them,
no girls.
Let me tell.
disappoint
Have you
I'm
ever
saying-
been publicly shamed?
no. If you let them,
No,
if you
no,
let
no,
them,
no, no, no.
you
See,
let
you
them.
guys, let me tell you as someone from who had experience with
How you
this,
letting a girl shame you in
right?
public and you just had that?
Oh,
Shy
I
guys will
was
still
I was
crush
in the
some
8th
girls.
grade, man.
That booty.
Okay,
This is what.
all right.
Let me tell you.
Talking about you know, that's different.
No, I'm showing, but I'm telling you, these are experiences that shape me to be the person that I am. I
Okay.
remember in the 8th grade, I was short. I was about 4'9". I was never. You would never think that I would be as tall as I am today, right?
How tall
No, it
are you?
I
happens.
was.
I was short in school as well. I was
I
short
think
in
it's
school as well.
5'11".
I heard what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I was 4'9", and I was a bit chubby. And I remember my girlfriend in the 8th grade, in the middle, I think it was an assembly, and all the kids, everyone was packed up in the front, and she got pissed off. I can't remember what set her off, and she said to me in the front of everyone, "I am breaking up with you because you're big, fat, and stupid," right?
Yeah, so you
And I
let her
looked
crush
at her.
you let her crush you, man. You can't let a
No,
girl
no,
crush
wait,
you.
wait,
It's in 8th
no,
grade.
wait,
What
wait,
are you
Patting a
gonna do?
woman
wait,
publicly.
wait.
You can't let
Here's
a lady
the
crush
thing.
you.
Public
Here's the
humiliation.
caveat. No,
Go on.
look at this. When I got that, I could have done one of two things. I could have crumbled under, all the self shame and guilt, or I can take that and I built myself. Luckily, I had my brother behind my back at that time who slapped me in the head and be like, "Man, grow up here," right? And he taught me. He had to bring me to build my confidence over. And for 1 year, I did not approach any female. And in the 10th grade, that same girl
Yeah.
who dissed me in front of everyone, I came back. I was not the same smiling kid I used to be. I'm a lot more serious, right? Not everyone would hear my voice. You would see me, I'll acknowledge that you exist, a little head nod, but I wouldn't just go and talk and run my jokes no more. That was dead. That guy died right there in front of everyone. When she saw me, it took her a couple of months where she was like, "Say something to me." I walked away. And she got
Yeah.
so obsessed where she literally backed me in a corner and she's like, bam, bam. And both hands on the side of the wall, I'm in the middle.
Raw.
She's like, "Talk to me. I want to hear that voice."
Oh,
My voice was a bit deep.
so
I was
what-
like,
Don't like you let
"What do
you
you
let her
want me to
destroy
say?"
you, then, man.
you know, like that.
Yeah,
That sounds a bit
the
like,
thing is, she destroyed
Yeah,
my
bro.
old self
sounds
back
like
then.
young Philly, fam. What's going
No,
on?
Right.
but if you were probably like a shy. I was a shy kid in school, but I'm not having that. I'm sorry,
I was shy. You see, after that,
I ain't having that.
I
Yeah, but
transformed
that's
into
the
what you would
problem.
call a John
She
Crow.
felt comfortable
I
to do that
transformed.
because she didn't respect you in a relationship, fam.
That's the thing. But when she learned to respect me, at the time, I used to be the guy who, I wouldn't say the clown, but would always be, giving jokes, just enjoying certain things. I wouldn't say a lot of, I say intelligent stuff, but it would fly over a lot of people's heads. So they would think that I'm stupid because they can't understand what I was talking at the time. And my brother said to me, you need to do things on a need to know basis. He's like, people will never take you serious because you're always too jovial. Being jovial is not a bad thing, but there's a time and place for everything. And he's like, once you've learned that, you will start to garner, attention. You'll start to garner respect now. You see, this all ties in with how you approach. Now, when I stopped smiling and when I got rid of that goofy look on my face, right? That's the beginning. When I'm walking, I will sometimes stand and I will look around. And if you pay attention enough, you will see women giving you glances, right? Women will give you glances. Once you get the glances, this is where a lot of guys, right, tend to mess up. This is the beginning of the approach.
100%.
What attention you're getting?
What's
You
the
don't
3
look
second
Damn
rule?
right, it's 3 seconds.
Wait.
I was about to get to that.
Yeah.
You don't look
Right.
for too long. You don't look too what?
No. So what the thing is, you literally, this is how it's like a communication with a connection, right? If you look for over 3 seconds, women will start to think you're weird or you're creepy because they'll think that you're staring, right? You don't want to stare, but you want to give them enough attention to say, hey, kind of interested. So what I would do is that I would look, and in that time when I look, if I see that, in the time when I look, if I see that you're looking at me, the first thing I'm going to do, break eye contact. I'm going to look around to see if I'm the person that you're looking at. And then when I look around, right, I'll make eye contact again. And if I see you glancing in my direction, this is me. It might not work for everybody, but right, I'll look around, I'll see. Sometimes I'll give a little gesture with my eyebrows, right? Sometimes they'll give a little giggle. If they give a little giggle, I'll wave, hi, how are you doing? Or sometimes I'll be like, can I have 1 minute of your time? Right? And it's yes or no. And if they say yes, which a lot of times I've never really gotten a no, right? But as I'm saying, the approach for every woman is different. It is different for every woman. So this is not a one cut all thing that fits every woman, no. But this works for me in some cases. Right? So can I get a minute of your time? I'm gonna go over there. Hi, how are you doing? And this is where it's important to pay attention to the cues. If she says hi and she gives you a little smile, or some of them will play with their hair.
Girls can say hi though, and they won't mean anything.
Yeah, but that's why I said pay attention to their actions.
Yeah,
If you get a little smile,
tell.
some of them you can't tell.
Friendliness is also
but
something.
What you're talking about is advanced game. Not every man has this sort of game. No, because it's real truth. Because some men you can talk about this and they don't understand the 3 second rule. They'll be like, you're crazy. But it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's real because women are, I wouldn't say they're fickle creatures, but it is not the easiest when it comes to women because they want you to read.
Yeah,
they want you to read their mind.
Do you feel vibes? Do you say when you look at one?
You can feel a vibes. You can feel if the woman is.
Yes,
it's saying. Not even in eyes only. It's body language.
A look. They give you a certain look. You're like, okay, is this something?
Some women, some women like right. Some women love men with deep voice. So if you be like, "Hey babe, how are you doing?" and she gives you that smile, she's like, and she gives you that look in the eye, that little glint. No, I'm saying some women like that.
They take the piss out of someone who's got a high voice, though.
Yeah, because they're not going to take you serious, right?
They definitely take the piss. The guy that
man, can you imagine? Can you imagine you?
Go.
I was saying, can you imagine, like, you go up and like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, but it's like
No one will take you serious, man.
People
They
take
don't like
Right.
that. They like
No.
a manly person. They like a manly person.
Yes,
That's
because
there's some guys
you're
actually try and make their voice deeper, you know. Some guys actually try
They
to make
do.
their voice
They
deeper.
do. They do.
How
They do.
can you
Which
try
is
and
mad.
make
It
your voice
becomes a
deeper?
thing.
Yeah.
Nah,
but you
it's
have
fucking
gases for that.
deep. It
You
becomes
know,
a normal thing.
it's not possible to do that, bro. Like, some guys will be on, they could be on a call and
No,
they'll
but
put their
okay. Talk
Vocal practice.
Talk about the men that become transgender. Their voice go higher, no?
Right, I think we
No,
should leave
let's
that.
not
Because
let's
I
not
don't want
put
to
it.
get cancelled, fam.
Let's not even have that
I
conversation,
don't
bro.
to get
But you
cancelled.
see,
It's
I
true.
mean, recently I've been seeing a lot of these guys, you know.
Hey, I'm
Let me
not
tell
saying
you,
that against
my-
them. I'm not even
if
on it.
I
Yeah,
tell you guys
again,
that
I've had-
I heard Michael Jackson's real voice, if you
That's what I said.
put on YouTube Michael Jackson's,
I heard. Yeah, I heard it. It's
that
deep,
nigga voice is deep.
Yeah.
That nigga voice ain't the screechy voice we hear him sing with. That nigga voice is deep. He came on, he's like, "Yo, fam, how you doing?" I'm like, "What the?" And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My vocal coach told me I should speak like this because it aids with the singing, you know." But it's literally vocal practice. If you get a I wouldn't say a speech coach, but you have coaches
do
that
have
can aid you, because
Yeah,
it's
so
the
if
flexing
you've
of
got a
your
speech
vocal
impediment, you
cords
get one of them
determine if
coaches.
your voice is deep. If you relax your
TJ?
vocal cords enough, you'll get a deeper pitch.
I don't know how you.
I mean,
You're just born
Jay.
with it, bro. You're born. You can't do nothing about that, man.
What do you
No,
mean?
but people purposely put their voice higher, like if they feel like it makes.
Wait,
them
wait,
feel
wait.
better.
No, I mean, if you're acting, like for example, that T-boy guy, for example, and he just changed his accent. But I've heard how he actually talks. I've heard his accent before. But some people actually try to make their voice deeper. Like, why are you forcing it?
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
not forcing it,
because-
but the human body is more amazing than you think in a Raftel. Look on it. Neymar or most of the footballers, they had the talent, but did they had all of these skills or did they have to practice?
no, some people are born with it, right? Some people are born with it, man.
Yeah, but they still have to practice.
No, they still have to practice, like, because if
Yeah,
you don't
and
practice,
what
then
happens?
there's so many footballers that their talent was there, but they didn't work hard enough. There's so many.
Yeah, look at Hazard, fam. This guy never trained in training.
You remember
He
Balotelli?
just ruined the Real Madrid. But
Remember
All right, but yes,
Hazard proved it already before he got to Real Madrid.
No.
Chelsea.
He needed to prove at Real Madrid, fam.
No, he proved it
but
already.
you see,
Man.
but you see what I'm getting is, you see what I'm getting
Well,
at,
Hazard
though,
didn't
guys.
prove it already before he got to Madrid.
Nah, I'm talking about when he went to Real Madrid. That's next level. So to be
Nah, he proved it already.
Like,
Hazard's better than a lot of guys. He's better than a lot of guys.
I'm
better
not
than a lot of guys.
arguing. In the Premier League, yes.
I'm a
But if we're
Chelsea fan.
talking
I'm a
about-
Chelsea fan. I'm a real
Guys. We're not getting into the football talkers yet. I'm just using it as an analogy to let you see. Yes, I just use that analogy to let you see that with the whole vocal speech thing, it's practice. The more you practice, the more refined you'll get at it. Because literally, it's a technique. Because you have singers
deep?
out there. I had to, well, puberty hit. I had to practice back to get my voice at the current pitch. Because my voice was a lot deeper, and I'm like, I don't want to sound like that scared guy where you hear me come and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Right. The more my vocal cord is relaxed, the more you'll realize the difference. But I don't like that because that doesn't really feel like me personally. So I tend to just be the high pitched voice where, you know, my wife, she's like, I'm used to that. When I get up in the morning, I'm like, I don't like to talk. And she always wonder why you don't speak in the morning. You know.
Oh, because you think it's just gonna create you having more kids.
Okay. I thought, you know, in the morning your voice sounds a bit deeper than normal.
Yeah,
because your vocal cords are relaxed.
It sounds like I sent a voice to somebody, and their person say, "Why your voice so deep?" I guess my voice is already kind of thick already. So I think when I wake up in the morning, even
I made the mistake to speak to someone. I got a phone call in the morning, and I got up, and I'm like, hello. The person said, hi, can I speak to William, please? And I'm like, speaking. Oh my God, your voice is so deep. I'm like, my nigga, I just woke up. Oh, just keep talking to me. I'm like, what the hell? You called me. What do you want? Yes, right.
Definitely deeper in the
But men, for the guys who've never approached a female, before you even do that, get your confidence to about 75%, because most of it is confidence. You have If you walk and you seem like you lack confidence, immediately women will shut you down in their mind. It's game over from the beginning, right?
Not unless you got
So the
that
first
fat
thing is,
wallet.
even if
See?
you're going to attract
See?
gold diggers, but
See?
that's gold diggers right there. You're not going to get
Yeah,
the
some guys
the
want
quality
gold
women.
diggers.
You don't
Some
want
smash.
you want wife material, man. You don't want the
Nah,
plastic bags.
at a young age, no. These modern men don't want wifeys. They just want smashing.
Yeah, because they have been broken, right?
Yeah,
They
society's
have been
changed.
broken,
Yeah, marriage is
right?
raised
I
for
was
now.
almost broken. I was in my womanizing phase when I was 17, 18. I was called a whore when I was a virgin,
That's what I'm saying. That's how
You
it is
man,
now.
I
right?
will have to jump on in a bit, but I gotta get back to work.
No worries, man. It's great to have you here. But yeah, I'm telling you, I have never been with a woman at that time, but I was
No.
classified as a womanizer.
So sorry to interrupt. Can you actually see me properly? Because can you
Yeah,
see me
Yes,
properly?
I can see you.
yeah.
Like am I close to the camera? Can you see me properly? Like,
I'm seeing your
because
sideburns, man, and I'm seeing those eyes,
okay,
the
because
sideburns and the eyes.
I don't know what's wrong with this girl's camera. Then but let's just carry on. For some reason she's seeing
There,
me bare close up, but this is me. But,
we're the three
um,
amigos. There we go. But as I've said, guys,
oh, thing is, just
literally,
living too.
What?
we have to when it comes to the approach. When it comes to the approach, we have to. It's mostly confidence. If you're gonna go with cash, I'm gonna teach you guys a lesson that you should always think about or reflect upon. This is what my old man taught me. He said to me, and this was back when I was in Jamaica. We were at the garage and we were just talking. And he said to me, he said, young boy, if you take a lie to get a woman, you'd have to take that lie to keep the woman. Because the minute you tell the truth, she's out of there. He said, if you
Well,
take money to get that woman, you better have all that money to keep that woman, because once the money runs out, she's out of there. He says the only thing you can do is be yourself, because at the end of the day, when
yeah,
you don't
100%.
have nothing, you have yourself to be at the end of it, right? So even though you're learning how to approach a woman, you're still going to be yourself. You're not going to, do a whole entire 180. If you're a shy guy, you know, like, yeah, you can approach her one away because you don't want to do things in public. If you're at school in university and you see her, going to collect a book, she's in the library where it's a lot quiet. You can do your thing there. It's a lot friendly. If you see her with a group of friends, stay away, because one of the friends might not like you, and if one disapproves, everyone will kind of disapproves. That's that that's just the hive mentality, right? They might hit you up secretly because they've liked you, but if their friend disapproves, they'll kind of shut you down. But if
Yeah,
everyone
facts.
approves of you, then it's a shoo-in. That's why I always approach the ugly one in the group.
I would say that's certain when it's like they're younger, but when they're older, they don't really listen to
when
the.
it's older
Probably
now,
the
it's
approach the one
different.
that approach the one that looks more calm. Because a lot of them when you approach them, they just thinking, "I just got come to
No,
work
you
today, bro."
see, the older women now, it's a lot different, because here's the thing. With the older women,
But
they're
that's why I
hitting
don't
the
approach
wall.
girls.
The older women are hitting the wall. They know that they don't have that youthful energy no more, right? A lot of them will be picky, but they know that, hey, if I'm too picky when I was 25 or when I was 18, I'm 30, 35 now. I'm not going to pull the same caliber of men, right? As Kevin Samuel says, buy a dog, die alone, right? We have to understand women have a biological clock. A lot of them don't want to accept that, right? A lot of them, men age like fine wine. The older we get, the more valuable we become, right? With women, the older they
But
get, the less fertile they are,
Oh,
right?
that was a mistake.
So
agree.
yeah, we have to look at it. So it's the age factor comes into place. If you want to have a family with an older woman, then everything will be on, fast forward, because then you have to get married faster. If you want to have a family with her, you have to have kids almost immediately, because the potential of her carrying to term is a lot less than when she was 25, when she was 18, right? And this is just generally speaking. People would go on the far end, will say, well, you have some women who can't bear. That's on the far end, right?
There's
But
treatment
for
for
the
it though,
general,
or adoption.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. But we have to look at it. Younger girls behave different than older women. You have some old
Yeah,
women
younger
where
girls
they
want Birkins and Gucci. Older women want
Birkin my bumbo not.
they
She
want a
have
roof,
Birkin money.
new
She have
windows.
you have Birkin money. Your pum pum must align with gold. Forget that. Now that me I tell you. About Birkin. You know much for
That's
Birkin?
what they want. Man.
You know much man. Missy work 3 job for buy
7,
Birkins.
8K.
Sim. What? 8 who? You're crazy, man. Me nah say me wanna spoil my wife.
I want to
Me
spend
wanna
that money.
spoil my woman. But you see, it's not like me I go see and I go be like, what can you do for me? No.
It's too materialistic, man.
No. That don't work. We have to get
No,
to know
yeah,
each other.
Bags like that is just too materialistic. I wouldn't get a bag like that. Like
Yeah.
even Gucci's
Like,
not that much. You know what I mean?
ciao.
What?
It's just the name and the expense, and at the end of the day,
It's all about the
I've
name.
seen
It's called branding, bro. Like that's the whole
see
part of it. You know what I mean?
these women are
Something
like,
that
oh,
costs
buy me
£10
this.
could be worth 100 to certain people.
Honestly.
Belts,
A lot,
LV
a
belts
lot
are
of
what,
these things.
£240.
See it there. See it there. But because you put on a Gucci brand on it, the £10 automatically value £5,000. You're crazy, man. Right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's literally how it works.
you
Literally, but
have to be.
it's brand recognition at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It takes many years sometimes to get that
Yeah,
recognition.
but it's a part of the
But
hype. You ever realize that
yeah,
most rich people, like, look at Bill Gates, look at Steve Jobs before him dead, right?
don't wear
Them man,
nothing.
the outfit costs $100, right?
They do
Like,
wear expensive stuff. It's just not like
no,
proper
them wear,
item.
yeah, because if you look
Like
on
I wouldn't
when
say
you
that they're
look at,
wearing Tom Ford, but they're wearing something like an £80 shirt. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Something
but
like that.
look on it. All right, look at it. Where do they wear those expensive clothes? It has to be
The
up for a
events.
certain occasion. You have
Yeah.
people, the regular man, I wear Gucci every day. I'm go on the road.
Mm.
You're going to the. Mhm.
Okay, this is an unpopular question. Do you think black people like to flaunt out these goods to more than like any other race,
Yes,
like brands?
no question asked. Yes, yes.
No, I don't know about that. The white guys are starting to jump on it, man. I
No,
don't
but
think.
You see,
do we do it as more as do you
black
No,
more
people
than
do it a lot
other
more.
races?
I think it's
Black.
even.
Well,
Any white
well,
guy,
well,
I think it's
well,
even. I
well.
think it's even. I think it's even. The white guys are jumping on it. Asian guys are jumping on it. I think it's very even.
No,
No, Asian guys done it,
s-
but I feel like let's for rappers for example. Most rappers will be like Fat Chain, you know what I mean, Rolex, Louis this, Gucci that, you know what I mean. There's not a lot of
y-
obviously Asian rappers in that we know of.
It's not many. There's more black rappers. There's way more black rappers than any
yeah,
other
But
yeah, way more
that's
black
just
rappers, but
an example, isn't it? Like if you go to singers, Asian singers, you don't really see them wearing these kind of things. You know what I mean? It's all about
you mean like you
are a
mean
bit
like the
different, innit?
K-pop soy boys?
yeah, you don't see them wear that, do you?
Cause with
Celebs are a
you
bit
see when
different.
it comes,
If you just talk about people like us, I think it's very even. So celebs are a bit different because they
Yeah,
just
but even like R&B singers, they're wearing Gucci this, Rolex that, bling bling bling. You know what I mean?
it depends. It depends on the R&B scene. Well, then again, me can't because up to the other day on I was seeing something on YouTube with 50 Cent literally withdraw about what 3 million to sit on for a pitch, and this the guy was like, we have Photoshop nowadays, right? We could just Photoshop it in, and he was saying, yeah, I could have done that, but I wanted it to be more authentic or something like that. right? But you see the black culture. Uh
We like to show off too much.
it's
It's
the
true.
thing is,
I feel like we
I
do.
think I
I see
think the
more people
reason why
robbing a
we
shop
show off
wearing LV and Gucci than people that's willing
the
to buy.
reason yeah, I
You know what I
think
mean?
the reason why we show off a lot is because we want to see more valuable, to the other races. Because to be honest, like, black people has been kind of looked down upon through history,
That's true.
right?
Massive
And
vengeance.
I've
You see
heard
what he
a
said?
story where Tory Lanez,
Mm.
He said
yeah,
black culture is the highest influence in the world.
Mm.
which is, I would say, to a point, yes, to a point, yes. I
Is there
haven't
anything
gotten the
higher than that?
statistics for that because rap R&B is, for the western side of the world. So when we're talking about what we'll have to talk about which hemisphere, the western hemisphere, yeah, it is a huge influence, right? We can't say it is the highest influence in the world because we're talking about the western side. When you're talking about the eastern side, it's a whole different culture over there, right? You'll have some rap, but most of the artists are not really, or if they're not banned from the country, you see what I'm going there. But as I'm stating, I think everything goes back to black people kind of being looked down on through history. There was a story a couple of
Yeah,
years back
like
where
in
Tory
America.
Lanez, um, R&B singer, went into a store, and I'm not sure if it was the manager who said to him that he should not come into the store because he's not sure if Tory could afford anything in the store, right?
Yeah.
That's
I know
suspicious.
Tory is a short black guy, and he took major offense. That guy bought everything in the store just to prove a point, right? And this is why I'm saying black people tend to flaunt when they get a little wealth. They tend to flaunt it to seem a lot more valuable than the general what the general populace thinks, right?
But at least at that, you know what I mean? Overspending. You have to talking to your accountant. You have to owe this. Like in America, obviously, you have to pay your
As a
own
black person,
taxes.
account who?
Okay, no, but I'm saying like America, you need to make sure you calculate your own taxes. Not like here in the UK where it just takes your money. You know what I mean? When you make a certain
Yeah,
amount of money, then you do need to calculate your own stuff and try and get tax write-offs. But in America, they do that, and then it leads to debt. You know what I mean? Look at Tiger, the rapper. Bro has so many loans in different houses and Lambos and cars, and he's in debt, and he's meant to be rich.
the only reason why the man in debt because him chase the wrong pum pum. You
I
know,
know
so
that's
who him
it.
go for?
They do too much in it. They can become. They do too much. They can happen in it.
Regardless
They
of
all
what it is,
they're all meant to be
reggae
rich
and
as well.
more happens to Oprah, and she don't flaunt. Yeah, but Oprah is different though.
No man, Oprah flaunt. What you talk about?
Who put that comment there?
Oprah bought people cars, bro. She got
Yeah, that is
sponsors.
flaunting.
Who
You
put
get
the
a
comment
car, you get a car, everyone gets a car, but behind the scenes, a lot of people had to sell the cars because the tax. You see the tax man.
That's true.
Oh boy.
It's true. In fact, in that same thing, yeah, they had to ask, "Do you want a car or not? Do you rather have the money or do you want to pay for the car?"
So you
Most
see,
people
it
said,
goes
"Let me
back
take
to
the money."
flaunting. But I think we strayed so far into a different topic. Let me bring it right back to the beginning. You see, when it comes to money, though, which woman are you attracting with money? You want a
You're
genuine
not
woman
attracting. Yeah, you're not
or you
attracting
want
a
a gold
random
digger?
woman.
No, you know,
No,
I've
you're
heard a
not above.
story where a guy owned a company, right? And what he did, he was tired of getting the wrong people. So he poses as just a floor supervisor. A lot of women did not look at him and he met a nurse, right? And when he met the nurse, he and the nurse got married, right? Because she was saying she was just a simple nurse. He was saying he was just a floor manager for a automotive company, right? And when they got together, she went as his wife, brought him lunch to his workplace, right? And when she went to the secretary, she's like, "Oh, I'm here to, like, should say, oh, I'm here to see Raf, I have something to deliver to him. And the lady's like, oh, can I ask where you are? And you'll be like, oh, I'm Raf's wife. And her face instantly changed. She's like, just a moment. She says, you can go up. It's on your right. It's the last door down. And she's walking, and on the office she saw president, right? And she's like, I thought you were a floor supervisor. He's like, yeah, I'm the floor supervisor, but I also own the company. And she's like, oh, great. Then I have something to confess to you also. And he's like, what's that? She's like, I'm not really a nurse. And he was shocked. He's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm actually the head doctor of the hospital, right? And she said she did that because she just wanted to find someone genuine who liked her for her, right? If me rich tomorrow, nobody now know because I'm wearing the same threads. The only difference is I'm not going to buy a Lamborghini, but I'm going to buy a car. Right?
I buy a decent, bro. 100%.
Yeah. I'm going to buy an old car first.
Nah.
I have to buy an old car first. The reason why I got people to teach to drive, man. I have the new car put down, but I have to have an old beater when I'm teaching people to drive. If they hit it, I won't be too upset.
When you say old,
I'm like, yeah.
Do you mean like 15 years old? Do you mean like 10?
Oh hell no. Nah, I would say something from, because I have the money, I would say something from 2015, 2021. But if I'm teaching them to drive, you better not hit it too much, damage it, right? If it's, but it's learning, so it's here or there. If I got the money, I won't feel anyway. It's easily replaceable, but it's whole different. But you see, it comes back, guys. Approach 3-second rule. It's advanced. Just pay attention to the woman.
So for question, how do you approach?
Who, me? I've been married for 7 years. I'm rusty as hell. But
I'm not saying now. Back then.
What I used to do is it's different, right? I have to take in. So when I'm doing it, it's not just a one-step approach. I have to factor in a lot of stuff. So if I'm interested in a woman, I have to look at the fact if she's with her friends. I have to look at the fact where my setting is. I have to gather some form of information whether I can approach her or not, right? Because you don't want to just get up, go to a girl, hi.
You never just been like, oh, she looks nice.
Yeah, I randomly just went to a girl and be like, hey, how are you doing? And she was mad frightened. She's like, oh, hi. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I saw you and I'm a bit interested, right? I just wanted to say hi, right?
I don't believe you. I cannot imagine you.
No, I did that. Come on, man. Right. What I did on your birthday.
How would you approach women? How would you approach women? No, you were trying to crap on my birthday.
You seen that?
I was under the influence, man. I was feeling myself.
No. I'm saying in the past, I haven't seen everyone you approach. I see people you meet, but not you approach. So how do you approach women?
I can't remember, man. I think my own changes every time, man. It's not like a stick one.
Yeah, because it's not one set thing. Because everyone is different.
I know it's not one set thing, but I'm saying like there's obviously a way you do it.
You want me to expose my?
It depends on the girl, though, man. It actually depends on the girl that's there, man.
Huh?
You still remember what I did on your birthday?
This man here will talk the most crap ever. Like he will describe so many similes in one sentence. It's crazy, and the girls fall for it. You know what I mean? He said something like breadback. Yeah, that's the only part I love. Something like that.
No, man. I said to her, listen to me, your money tick up like breadback, and you stand up like. I said to her, so she tick like breadback, and she stand up firm like cardboard box. I said to her, so you see now, you're the part of the bread. Well, what heap of people overlook, but are you me want? Yeah. For real, come on. How much people look on the back of one bread? It ticking them. Hey, you say if you're hungry, you get the back of one bread. You take back. Hey, that's cool, man. You see, I draw me out in a sir.
Tick and flat.
Yeah. sometimes you have to be creative when you're approaching women. Because sometimes if you come with the generic stuff, they're gonna look for you like.
And that's how I know you were chatting crap before.
Yeah, but that is advanced game, sir. I'm doing it for the beginners, right? All right, listen.
I said, how are you?
What one of the things that I if you listen to a lot of these songs, you can use for instance, I remember one day, right? I was bored, right? And sometimes I do this with the wife. I treat her like it's the first time I'm seeing her. And I remember one day I just walked to her and I'm like, baby, you know, say, when me see you, you ever hear Bruno Mars song Locked Out of Heaven? Yeah. You take me to paradise and when you talk to me, I feel like some locked out of heaven. You know? And the smile, the laugh, it's cheesy, but it works. Right?
I'm a cheesy guy. Well, I used to be, but wow.
You can use cheesy lines to let me tell you, it all depends on the settings because sometimes the cheesy lines work. The cheesiest line I've ever said to someone, right? It was one day after work. I was mad tired, and I one of my coworkers, she's thick, and I'm like, hey tickers, and she say, yeah. I'm like, you want a man? She's like, I have too much. Me say, you want a real man?
Too much.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, I have too much, man. I'm say, you want a real man? She's like, and she's like, me not sure. Me say, nobody ever tell us you come like the Matrix? And she's like, no, why? Me say, call me the one. And I kid you not, that was the cheesiest line I've ever. It worked. I got the biggest smile that night. She was like, me can't bother with you, you know? I'm like,
Because I'm the one, bro.
Come on, man. Who? Well, except for these modern kids. Who back in the days never watched Matrix?
Raf, you seen Matrix?
Right.
Nah, I don't. You know me. I don't watch stuff like that.
See?
Raf,
That's an old school thing, anyway.
Just let me tell you about Raf. You're still young, Raf. Right?
I don't like. No, that's not Marvel, but you know I don't like them kind of things.
Yes, Raf. You're not 29. Man, no, you're not 29. Right?
20. I'm 23.
You're young in the game, man. You see?
I'm 23.
See there? Back in the 90s, man, women them come from my ear. Like people not all that old. Them just like 2-3 years older than them. Yeah. But well, except Raf way younger than me. But when it comes to Chad here, about what, 4 years older?
I'm on the stream.
Right.
That's 4 years older than you. No way.
No, I'm older than Chad.
Oh, you're older than Chad. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Me a dinosaur boss, man. You know, see that?
I thought you said Chad is 4 years older than you.
Oh boy. Yeah, man. We have a dinosaur it up. But you see, we have to understand. Even though like with the advanced game and stuff, because game is game. Right? Some simple comments you make can get women interested. Simple comments. Sometimes you don't have to go overboard where you tell her, oh, she look like some angel who fall from the sky and some foolishness like that. You don't have to go so overboard. You know? Simple compliments. You know, you're beautiful. Some girl will take it to heart. Because, boy, I say people, I am not condoning that you should do this. But I remember, I approached a girl where everyone was approaching her. And I said to her, you know, you're very beautiful. She's like, yeah, me know. I kid you not, I got pissed. I'm like, you know, give me back my compliment. Right? And she was stunned. I'm like, yeah, you're not beautiful no more. Right? And I walked on and looked back at her and I'm like, baby, you know, if I have anything for advertise, are you gonna come to first? And she was like, really? I'm like, yeah, cause I'm slap it on your 5 head, cause that is not a 4 head. Yeah, big no bumbo now. Me put anything pan that the fire them. I guarantee you say free advertisement for life. Now, people, I do not condone doing that. But I got the girl after that. Yeah. Like, I got the girl. I kid you not. Everyone was laughing. Broke her down, her not mentally, but I broke down the high horse she was sitting on. And she drew close to me versus everyone else because everyone was too afraid to say anything negative, right? Everyone was just being nice, and she was like, "Yeah, I know," and she was bare up in her feelings, and I'm like, you know what? I got to take her off the high horse, and I literally took her down off that high seat, and out of every guy that approached, she came back to this guy. Now, people, as I will reiterate, I am not condoning that behavior. No, do not. And I keep repeating it. I do not condone it. I was young at that moment, and she kind of low key deserve it, right? But we have to remember now the approach. I've learned this when I was learning the approach because I could not approach women at first, right? My oldest brother, the first thing I learned was how to keep a woman. That was the first thing I learned. And I learned things in a reverse order. You were supposed to learn how to approach a woman first, then learn how to keep a woman after. But I learned how to keep a woman first, then learn to approach them after. And my oldest brother was like, just go over and talk. He's like, you have to have confidence. He's like, you can't go over there looking like a wimp. You can't go over there holding your head down. You can't go over there having doubts. He's like, boss man, even if you're wrong, talk wrongly with confidence. They won't know. Yeah. And this guy took me to a bar. And he's like, see the bartender there, she look nice. Approach her. I'm like, but he's like, approach her. I'm like, I'm afraid. He's like, approach her. I'm like, but he's like, what Miss just say? Approach her. He says, suck it up, grow up here, approach her. So I said, what am I supposed to say to her? Him say, listen, start off with a general conversation. She work at a bar. Ask her like the simplest thing. What she wanna recommend for drink fee night, right? And then you just break it down from there. So, right? Ask her what kind of alcohol she like. Zine. Then after that, if you can, you ask her if you can buy her a round. Right? Then right there, you kind of start direct the conversation in a direction where you start to ask her certain questions, but you don't want to bombard her to make you feel pressured into answering. It's supposed to be a light conversation where you kind of gauge if you have a chance or not. Right? Ask her, you talk to her. Oh, you have a partner, you have a boyfriend? Yeah. Now, people, I do not condone this because as I keep telling you guys, don't follow these specific parts. But the last time back in the years when a girl said to me that, oh, I have a boyfriend, I said to her, baby, are you me are looking at your man? Right? People, I do not I do not condone that, but that tend to hit a lot of women off because they're like, oh, I have a boyfriend, and I say I'm looking you, not your man. They kind of be like, well, they've never heard that before. I'm like, yeah, I have an interest. Now, if you have a man, good for you, right? And then I start to gauge out them relationship. Now, people, I'm not going to teach you these things because it is too much power enough when you don't have the responsibility when we'll use the power for wrong, right? I don't want to create too much womanizers out there. I prefer, yeah, I prefer men, even though they're saying like there is not enough benefits for men being married, right? Because honestly, you have good women out there. It's just that the bad ones are mostly highlighted. Because you have good women out there who want husbands. But we as men, we've been hurt. We had a little girlfriend who cheated on us, and we be like, yeah, we're just gonna hurt all women, which should not be the case, men. We have to learn to practice forgiveness. Most men are like they're going their own way. They're like them tired of women. Men go to the eastern side of the world. They find some wife materials over there. You know,
It's
check
hard to though. It's
that.
hard. It's hard to like obviously control your feelings after you're hurt. Innit? Like that's why I was like a lot of women hate men. You know what I mean? Because that's what's happened in the past.
Yeah, it's funny how they do
Everyone
it. Well,
Yeah,
when
but
they
you
when they
see,
do when it's the other way around, it's okay. When it's the other way around, it's okay then, isn't it?
because they're portraying women. No, you see, this is
Some of
where
these ladies destroy men as well, you know.
yeah, some women take it as a point, be like man haters would take it as a point to literally destroy. So women are the ones who create these guys because you see, even Tupac. Let me use Tupac. They showed a video on YouTube where Tupac was like, "Yeah, man, respect these women. I wouldn't do this or I wouldn't say certain things." Then literally, he got hurt. What he's like, "F these women." I'm like, whoa, that's a stark contrast between what he was saying, right? But women
No, but
create
how he
the type
started
of
is
men.
different though. He respected women. So
Yeah,
much.
he's respected. I'm telling you guys, I grew up with a lot of females, so I respected women a lot. And I learned the hard way. The more you love and you respect a woman, the nicer you treat them, the more likely you will be hurt because then they'll think that, oh, you're soft. You're not man enough. And that's when they're more likely to cheat. And the thing is, I've learned this. If a woman cheats on you and you accept her, but that woman will never respect you again. And it's weird. You think that forgiveness would be a major contribution. She'd say, "Oh, he forgive me." No. No. And this is where a lot men, you see, I'm delving too deep past certain topics, but men, if you don't have boundaries with women, they'll take the piss and they'll keep pushing to see what they can get away with. And if you keep letting them
100%.
get away with stuff, you're going to be classified as the nice guy. And the thing is, you don't want to be a
Yeah.
nice guy.
No,
Being a
they'll just
good
control
man,
you from there.
You can be a nice guy, but it's just
No, but you just be
bad.
controlled
nah,
from that moment. From that, if
that's
you keep on letting them get involved, you just be controlled from there. They run the relationship. Just be controlled, bro.
so I'm going
They're
to
gonna be controlled.
define what is a nice guy and what is a
I've seen it
good
before.
man.
I've actually seen it before, bro.
Yeah, the difference between a nice guy and a good man. You see, the nice guys are what they call simps. So if they're like, oh, you're too nice, it means you're a simp, right? But good men know how to discipline women. Good men have boundaries. If
No,
you
I think that's two
if you
different things, you know.
overstep, yeah, if you overstep it, if women overstep their bounds to a good man, he's not afraid to set them back into place. A simp would be, he would let shit slide, right? He would because the thing is, when you're too nice, women don't respect you. And I learned that the hard way. Being too nice is not good.
Nah, I think you can. Like at least I'm actually my brother. He's his wife's sister. That guy looking nice, but you know nothing not to like about this guy. But from what I can see, because I've been in the present, this guy is a nice guy. He's white, innit? My brother's white. Her sister, her husband is white. He's white, yeah. Nice guy. Nice guy.
Let me ask
from what I can see, I think the girl kind of controls him. So I don't think they mind it, man. They're like they're in control. They're gonna control you.
If you allow a woman to control you, they will take over. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening in a relationship because I've seen
this. The thing is,
happen.
How long? You see, people can show you a happy face outside, but being the third person or being on the outside of something, they show you smiles. You think that everything is good. You think that they're having a happy relationship, but back at home, when they're in their comfort zone from the eyes of the public, it's a whole different ball game. Right? So we have to take into factor what are they showing us versus their actual reality. So you're seeing that he's very nice, right? And she's taking control, right? And it does not seem like the relationship is breaking. And a lot of times we'll say, oh, they have the perfect relationship, everything's a-okay. And then you hear that, oh, they've broken up, and you're like, what happened? They look very happy to me. What they're portraying on the outside is not what is necessarily happening on the inside.
Sorry to cut you, man. I'll give you an example. That's probably why I didn't last with the last person, bro. Because try to control me. I'm not getting controlled, boy. I ain't getting controlled. I'm there. I'm the lead. I'm the leader of this thing, bro. I ain't getting control. So the last person I'm with, that's why I turned toxic because she can control me. Bro. It's not happening.
You see, no, you see with that, if you said clear
No,
boundaries,
but you're not being. To be fair, you listened to her. You tried to agree to.
Tried to, but that's what I mean. She made it a difficult thing to the point where I look at the bad person. At the end of the
Yeah,
thing,
but
I look at the bad person.
she should know from the get go. Like you're the type of guy, innit? And you
I look
let
like
her know anyway.
I look like a bad person, but she tries to control the thing. I don't mind a woman that's ready to fight me. I don't mind that because the one before that one,
all right. So
she's
let me
always ready
ask
to
you.
fight me. But it can't be a thing where the girl's trying to tell you what to do, man.
Let me ask you this,
It can't.
right? Yes, when it comes to relationship, a lot of guys, she's trying to control you. Have you guys ever just sat down and have a discussion, hear her out, what she's saying, right? And if she's talking stuff that you know is not implementable, you show like, babe, this is the direction you're going in, and it's going to fail. It's best if we go this way and we're going this way because this is X, and you show her. Have you ever done that?
We
Say
had it.
again?
We definitely had a conversation. We had
Repeat
many
the question.
conversations, man.
Repeat the question.
You're asking me,
So,
right?
yeah, I'm just asking Raf because he's saying that his girlfriend want to control him. So I asked him, if she tells you, "Oh, do this," have you ever sat down and have a discussion with her about, "Okay, you said I should do this, but this is what's going to happen more likely. This is the better path." Have you ever
Depends on
sit down and have that
We
discussion?
definitely did. We
depends
definitely
on
did. The
what
one
it
that comes
is.
to mind, the last one that comes to mind, the one that ended the relationship, that just ended it, yeah, was he tried to tell me what to wear, and that pissed me off because how you tell me what to wear to a party? She's trying to say I have to wear shoes. You have to wear shoes to a party, and that was the last straw, and that was the last straw. You can't tell me what to wear, like what I have to wear shoes for.
So now you see, it comes back. It comes back to boundaries. So your breaking point was you don't want no one to tell you what to wear, right?
It's the way she said it, innit? But maybe I reacted in a way, but I didn't like the way she was trying to tell me that I can't wear trainers
But
to a party.
sometimes was it a fact that when she said it to you that you immediately got upset and you're like, nah, man, I'm just done with this?
To be
Was
honest
it
with
an
you,
emotional decision?
I might have been in the mood already, but still, she's
There
still
you
trying
go.
to tell
It
me.
was emotional.
Yeah, maybe, but she was still trying to tell me that I can't wear trainers to this party. Like it was a wedding. It was a wedding. I got there and I see people wearing trainers.
She
It
kind
wasn't
of.
even my wedding. I was just going
Realistically,
there.
she kind of right.
Raf, come on. We
Realistically,
literally spoke about
No.
there's a time and place for
No, but there was
everything,
bare
man.
guys wearing trainers at this wedding. When I got
yeah,
there
Yeah,
with
but
my brother,
realistically, she kind of right.
yeah, yeah. She was
no,
right,
I'm not
man.
saying she was wrong, but that's not the point. That you can't tell me what to do
So
or
the
what to
point
wear.
is, all right. So
That's
Raf,
what I'm
let
saying.
me tell you.
So if your woman told you what to wear, you're just gonna go and take it off. I was like,
No,
No,
I
it
want to wear
depends.
trainers.
No, it depends.
nah,
She would. All right. So
I'm not gonna
for, no,
break up over her for that, am I?
No.
let me
There
show
was
you
more to
guys.
it. There's more to it. There's more to it. It didn't just break up from that.
As
There was a
someone
man that's going on.
who has a woman who's been married for over 7 damn years, I'm giving you guys some advice.
Yeah.
Communication is key. If I'm gonna go somewhere and my wife said to me that don't wear that shirt, wear this shirt instead, and I'm like, but I like this, right?
Yeah.
And she says, no, I think you look better in this, right?
Mm.
Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try both of them on, and I'm like, well, she's the one who's seen me externally, and I put it on. I'm like, she's like, yeah, you look great, you know. I've listened to her, and I'm telling you, when I put on clothes that she says, yeah, you look nice in that, and I go on the road, and women are eyeing me to the point where I feel her tug on my arm. I'm like, what the hell is happening, right? And she gives off the face like he's mine. I'm like, what the hell is happening here, right? And
Yeah.
then when we reach back out home, she's like, a lot of women were checking you out. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice. She's like, I noticed though. I'm like, well, at least you know your man is wanted. And then we laugh, right? But you see, she can give me her opinion She can tell me what to wear, right? She's my wife. I love her and respect her. And sometimes I'm not going to tell it all the time because I'm human. Realistically speaking, sometimes, right? I just listen, no arguments, right? If I see
Well,
what
that's what I
she's
said.
saying is going to, yeah.
It
Well, you're
depends.
If I
probably right,
see,
but Chad knew this kind of person this person was. She said it
I
was
would
something
one,
she wore in a demanding way. You can't.
I would like to have a
I might have
conversation with
reacted the
her.
wrong way.
I don't think
Possibly.
you.
You've been
I
emotional.
don't think you can have a conversation with her. To be fair, she's
Maybe,
kind of.
to be honest with you, maybe I could have reacted differently.
It's because, personally, I've not really had beef with her, but like, just the way she talks to him, she's like she just thinks she's correct at the same time.
Yeah, but you see,
Yeah,
like
Wrong,
when it comes to
you know what I
that,
mean?
you see, as men, we have to learn to control our emotions because always stay as men. If we get too upset, we can get violent. So we have to always keep it,
yeah. Right.
under wraps, right?
I'll be
So
honest. I
because
probably could have reacted differently at times. So I held my hand up
true,
on that at that time. I could have
hmm
reacted in a more calmer way in it, but
see, it good when I take
it's
accountability
just the
because this
way
shows
she
that you
said
have
it.
the yeah. You see, it good when I take accountability because it shows I have the capacity to learn,
Mm.
get better and move forward. You see, people who can't readily accept correction, let me tell you, you're going to have a hard ass time with them because in their eyes and in their mind, they're never
That's what
wrong.
it was. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was, and that's
Oh
why
damn, you
That's
it
see?
was great. It was that.
that's why I said. Like that's what I'm saying. You
Listen to
can't
the
have a
Bible. The
No,
Bible
and
says it is better
that's
to
why.
be by yourself than live with a quarrelsome woman. Leave.
Because
She's
I
religious as
think
well.
Chad's thinking.
She's super
I
religious.
think
Like
No, no,
yeah, I
no.
think
You
Chad's
can't
thinking
be a
that it
religious
ended there.
woman and look at it. You can't be a religious woman and pick and choose. No, you don't religious. You're just a churchgoer. I'm afraid we're gonna get some backlash for this, right? But you're just a churchgoer. You can't pick
Yeah, so
when and
at that
where to
point,
be
yeah,
holy.
it was breaking at that point. By that point, when it got to that bit where she tried to tell me what to wear, it was already cracks all over. Like so,
Oh, dude,
that was
that
the
means that
last thing.
you see you were
I would say
already
it's
at the
probably
end of
cracks
your
before that
wits.
though. Probably
That's
cracks
what I just
before
said.
that.
It was already. That's what I just said.
Face,
Oh,
face,
okay.
that
I just said that.
shattered,
Well, you can't hear what I'm
shattered
saying. Bro. There was
No, we're
already
here.
cracks before it, so that was the last kind of thing where it's like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
this thing
Hey,
needs to come
Chad,
to an end now.
she was throwing stones in his glass house, and that was the last window.
No, she was. She's
Yeah,
religious.
that was the
She's
last kind of
religious.
thing, but it was just getting,
Like,
and it got to the point where she was making me look bad to her sister. Like there was just so many things to it.
but
Like
she was making me look bad to you. You know what I mean?
Hot damn!
yeah, well,
See,
she
you got
tried to, she couldn't
so
do that
what?
as much as she tried.
That's what
What
I'm
was the
saying.
real? Was she trying to isolate Raf to get him all to herself? Was that it?
No,
I
she
don't
was
know
because
for
she was telling me to watch.
isolation.
No, she was. She was telling me to watch out for these people that I've known for this long. That watch out, be
Yeah,
careful.
because that's the reason because of that is because she doesn't. She's in that same place. Like she has no friends like that. You know what I
You
mean?
see,
So
and you see, it's
she feels
She
like
doesn't want to. She doesn't want to.
they can
She doesn't want
betray her. You know what I
No,
mean?
well, the one person she had like that was probably me until it turned into what it turned into.
Yeah, I
She
know, but
didn't
that's what I'm
really.
saying. Because she's lived her life like this, she's telling you to be like that
and you
as
see,
well. You know what I mean?
this is one of the things that we have to be careful of the most,
Yeah,
where
it
people are
just got my.
taking
I
past
learned a lot about her, man.
experience. This is what caused a lot of animosity between the sexes now because you have humans. I'm not going to say men or women because this is a general thing, but we have people who take their past experiences and punish the current partner or the current person for the past happening, and that ends up causing a lot of breakdown, a lot of trauma, a lot of mental damage. And this is what leads to where society is at now, where people are no longer wanting relationships. They just want to treat women or men like gas station, pump and
It's
go.
true.
That's not the way.
It's true.
Like
Depression's
society as a
on a
whole is
high.
breaking down.
Depression's on a high. People
Yeah,
are,
That's probably why some people don't want to get
literally
it.
offering themselves more. You know what I mean?
you
I'll
see
be
that's
real.
a
At times,
People want to be
I don't know.
single. People
I
get
don't know
married
if she's
later.
gonna head it in it.
People have kids later. Like the average age to have a kid is like over 30 now. You know what I mean?
no, but that
At
is
time,
bad
my
because
last song is that I'm meant to be single, but I can't lie to you. Because I was thinking maybe I'm part of the problem as well. So at the time, after this year, after that relationship, I was thinking, am I supposed to be single? Because I'm always getting angry. So
Is
maybe
it
I'm part of the
is
problem
it
as well.
is it that you're
You
supposed
are
to be
part of the problem,
single,
bro.
or
Yeah,
is it
we're
the
meant to
fact
be
that
single then.
No.
At the
When I
time, I
say
was
like
thinking,
this, yeah.
man,
No, but when I say you are part of the problem, I mean just because sometimes you do lash out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
there
don't
you
think
go?
about it before you lash out.
after
But the
her,
thing
I was
is,
thinking, am I meant to be single? Am I not meant to be someone? Am I
No,
just
but
meant to be
no, you're not meant to be single, but you're also meant to control your emotions. There's times I
let,
get mad, bro,
so let
but I
me
don't
let me
go
ask a
crazy on you.
question.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask a question because Raf, you said something that is detrimental to your relationship. You were saying after her, you think, are you planning to break up with that woman?
No. Wait, which one?
But
Which one?
you have to be careful. Remember what we said in the last one. You have to be mindful and you have to be
Yeah.
careful with what you say, because once you've said something and it goes out, you can't take it back.
Oh yeah,
When you say
100%.
as the outsider, when I
No.
heard you say, "Oh, after this one, um, if you
Because
leave, right, you
I
have to be
can't control
careful with
myself.
that."
If someone if a girl pisses me off, I'm gonna go mad.
Oh, that is
So,
good. Let me teach you something, because I don't think you had a short fuse like my brother had the shortest fuse. That man was a landmine. He blew up on contact. Right?
I
This was
blew up,
my
especially
brother
when
who,
you're trying to piss me off on purpose. Like I can't stay calm. I just can't do it. So I was thinking maybe
Raf,
maybe I'm supposed to be single, bro. Or I
Raf,
have to find somebody that can actually deal with my
but
where I react.
that's what I'm telling you. I'm gonna teach you what my brother did. This is things that we practice over the years. But my brother was a landmine. You would get upset. My brother would literally he would fight. That man would just bruh, if you're
It reminds
listening,
me of my brother a little bit. My brother is different to me as well. His anger is different level to mine. That's why when you
my
lot think I'm angry, boy, you
my
have not
brother
seen.
my brother would get, when he gets
I
upset.
wouldn't take it from your brother. I know it's because he's your brother.
I'm
That's why
saying
he talks to you like
you
that.
think William, 1 second, William, 1 second. Let me land on this one. These man think I'm angry.
You are.
You have not seen me and my brother. You see my brother,
You, you're angry, bro.
boy.
You're angry.
I am angry, but not as bad as them.
Bro,
My older brother,
you're like a kettle,
he's
bro.
on a different
You know what I mean?
level. Like
You're
he's on a
legendary.
Man,
different. He's on a different level. The only thing about him is he'll apologize after, but he's on another level to me, bro.
So you're
oh
worse than
man,
him. You don't
sounds
even
like he's highly.
apologize.
Worse than me, bro.
But as I was saying, like my brother, he was very angry, and he said to me, I remember when we were young, he said to me that he hates to get upset, and I'm like, he said, bruh, when I get upset, our body releases the special enzyme that makes us 2% stupider, and we do the most dumbest things when we're upset. He's like, I don't like to be upset. And what we do is that when we are upset, this is something that I do up till this day. If I'm pissed, you won't get me to speak easily, because I don't want to say anything in anger and then you
Mhm.
can't take it back. So when I get pissed, the first thing I do is grit my teeth. I clench my jaw, right? And then my eyes get little beady. I would steer you down, right? For women, like my temperament is different for women than to men. For women, I will walk you out. If you piss me off, I'll walk you out. When my wife pisses me off, I literally go for a walk, right? And then I will stay
That's
out
probably
for like, yeah,
that's
I
probably
would
the
just
best way
go
to do
out.
it.
Yeah, it's
Go on, go on,
best.
go on.
That is the best course of action. Leave the place, take a walk, go into the park, sit,
Yeah.
take a deep breath.
You know,
Go to
that's
the
why I
store,
kind of
buy
wish I
something.
live with. Sorry. You know, that's why I kind of wish I lived with these people because maybe I'd react differently. It's only because he's on the phone, innit?
Nah. You
But
be worse.
you see,
You be
let
worse.
me tell you, the
I
good
might
thing
meant to
is,
actually walk away. I might tell one of you to come over. Yo, come over,
That'll
I
make it
need,
yeah,
worse,
or I
bro.
might go to
It
you.
doesn't
100.
make things
Like
better.
these are things we used to practice. When my brother used to get upset, he'll just say, "Like, let's go for a walk," and we'll walk and talk about random shit. We literally
Yeah,
had a conversation about a stick. We passed a stick lying on the ground, and we had a full blown philosophy conversation about a stick, right? We had a Schrodinger's cat argument about the stick.
Sure as
Do you
thing, bro.
think someone Schrodinger? It's where they put the cat
I
in a
know it's a
box and
cat. Is If it's
Yeah,
alive or dead,
if
and
it's yeah, and we're saying, did someone move the stick? Did a car run over the stick? Right. So we had a conversation about that, and then it goes off. We start talking some shit about the universe. Right. We are not astronomers, but we it just lead goes to there because we're walking and we're just letting our minds run free. It helps. It walking when you're upset is a very calming thing. You will end up pretty far though, so you have to pay attention how far you're walking.
Is that
Right.
what you do? So when your wife pisses you off, you always go
Yeah.
leave the house.
Yeah. Just leave the house. Just go
Is
take a
it?
walk.
Well,
Yeah.
how long do you go for? Like a long walk or like five
No, it
minutes?
depends. It depends. It depends on how much she pisses me off. Because usually nowadays,
Mm.
she don't pisses me off to a certain degree. I just get upset. But I tell people that I have different degrees to my anger. I am very slow to anger, but when I do get to that boiling point, right, I stop talking. Action. The last person that pissed me off, it took them 3 years. 3 years of constant like disrespect, and I was like, I don't want to get upset. I was saying, listen, it doesn't make sense. I try to keep calm. I take my breaths. I take walks just to calm myself, right? And then the last straw was when they did something and I ignored it at first, and they started to shout at me, and I'm like, I'm already at the boiling point. Why are you provoking me?
Yeah, those kind of
And I'm
people are
like,
annoying. They're trying
yeah,
to
and
do
I'm
on purpose.
like, I'm
You're
like,
already there.
yeah,
uh,
They're trying to push you.
no, people
yeah,
don't
I'm
have to
like,
stop sometimes. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay,
like, you see,
okay, and you keep going. I'm
yeah,
like, okay, bro,
Like,
do you want me
there,
to go
there you
further
go,
mad or something?
right?
it's like they
You
want you to
see,
smash something up. Whatever. They want to
yeah,
smash up the whole place, bro.
right. They see you, and you're like, you're holding your peace, and you're like,
Well,
I
some
am
people
of
can handle that, Like, I feel like someone
some
like BK
people.
will be. Where?
Let me tell you, it's not easy. It's something that we all have to practice. That patience and that self control,
No, I
right?
just
I
put,
Because
say,
they would,
does my
I would
mom do that?
say,
Our mom do that, I swear. Don't you forget your mom does that? See when she's getting on to you, and
hey,
she just keeps on going on.
my
I feel like our
my
moms do
mom.
that.
I remember, yeah, moms will do that. I remember my
Moms do
mom
that. Moms do that.
when I was a teenager. My brother was like, "Don't answer her, just let her talk." And she was arguing. I don't remember what she was arguing about. What she was arguing, and she was going on and on and on. And she's like, "Oh, you not answer me, huh? You don't even have any self-respect." I'm like, "What is your problem, woman? Oh, you don't have any respect. You're talking back to me." I'm like, "Oh my god, you just said I must answer." Like, it's
nah,
mental. Like,
it's definitely best to choose to shut up before you say anything.
yeah,
But
No,
trust
yeah,
me,
yeah. Yeah,
it's
when it's your
it's just
mom, it's best just not say nothing because eventually they'll walk away. But if it's your girl, then yeah, you need to burn them. But
something.
your
The
mom,
easiest way to counter your mom
nah,
arguing is
nah,
just to
nah.
look at her, and she's like, "What?" And you're like, "Mom, I love you."
yeah. You want to talk about moms? I feel like when your mom does it, I feel like your mom actually wants you to say something. It's like
They
they
do.
want you to say something.
They let me tell you.
Testing you.
Sometimes I think it's their way of training you patience, right? Because sometimes they'll push you just to teach you that when you go out, son, you're going to have a woman. Eventually, she will do this, right? And how you react will determine everything. They might not say it. Sometimes they might not even realize that they're doing it, but you see, it's nature, right? Certain things we as humans, remember, we as humans do things subconsciously, right? Men, our fathers have a way to raise us to be men, which means that they're a lot tougher on us than our moms, right? They handle things differently because they're dads. They instill more discipline. They still give you love, but they deal with more discipline and respect. And mom
And more
gives you a lot
threats,
more love, right?
way more
And
threats.
it's just it's the difference in what we are as humans. Men and women have different roles. What is happening with society now is that we as humans are forgetting that each of us have a specific role to play. Like, I tell people, my mom couldn't teach me how to approach a woman. If I followed my mom, I would be a simp 100 times over, right?
Has your mum ever talked to you about women?
My mom, she's like, respect women, be kind to girls, Da 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 da. My old man be like, listen to me. And his friends, I kid you not, it was a night and we were all drinking. And his friends are like, young boy, you can't pet the pum pum. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you can't pet the pum pum. No, that's what they said. I'm like, what? And he's like, yes, man. He's like, me did have a wife. I made it nice. I made it sweet. I made it pet the pum pum. She got America and she don't come back. I'm like, what? He's like, yes, man. When you go there, make sure say you please your wife. I was dumbfounded, man. I was about 17, 18. He's like, yes, man. Make sure you please your wife.
Talks at 17, 18. Man.
Because everyone around me was literally married, or these men were not 40, they were like 60, right? They're the older generation, right? And they were teaching me, right? I was having marriage talks from 14, right? But you know, women broke me at some point, and I had to have my womanizing ways.
You had a taste, you never went back. That's right.
Actually, I did, because I got married, which shows that I still went back to the roots. I just didn't go too far.
You did. No, you traveled through some buildings. You know what I mean?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot.
Sure.
No, Lord. But you know, let me show you.
Yeah, notifications.
Let me show you. My wife, right, was the one who got my first time. So even if I travel through building, I got her that card. She's the current first place holder of that card, right? And she proudly displays it because she's the one who got the ring at the end of it, right? Even though I still travel through a building, but you know, shit happened. The youthfulness of I happened. But it wasn't a lot. I went to a lot of parties, but I didn't go home with a lot of girls because I was afraid. And I'm not lying, I was afraid of what I might catch. Yeah, you don't know who is clean out there. They look beautiful, right?
You know what it is?
It takes away from the feel. Come on, man, Chad. It takes away from.
You know what that is?
I'm allergic to that.
Latex.
Sir, I remember I put one on and it burnt me.
Trojan. How did it burn you? You bruv. What?
It burned. I put it on. I'm like, it felt funny. I'm like, it felt like it's getting warm. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, this doesn't feel warm no more. It feels like I'm on fire. I was probably allergic. No, the thing is, I didn't caught anything, right? But apparently they were saying that, oh, it was the stones working, but it was an allergic reaction to either the.
Can you be allergic to rubber?
Yeah, you have women who are allergic to the latex in condoms. Yeah. Man, let me tell you. That's why I tell you, I did not travel a lot. Even though I could. I had the choice, but I was like, nope. Even just a couple days ago, I could have traveled, but I decided I'm a married man. I remember I have to remind myself, you're a married boy. You got a wife. You got to be careful. You don't need none of these flames in your life. Right? But I'm telling you, have people who are allergic to latex.
In most cases, latex allergy develops after many previous exposures to latex. Latex allergy symptoms may include
and the thing is,
stuffy or running nose.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't even have to. You don't even have. And here's the thing that you don't know. You don't have to get. You a lot of products that we use contains latex.
So
yeah. Even the water, look at this. The water we drink, it's best to get water from glass bottles rather than they taste different. If you drink water from a glass bottle than a plastic bottle, it tastes different because here's the thing.
I agree with that.
The plastic particles. Yeah, the plastic particles are traveling in and these are some of the factors that help to cause cancer. in a lot of us,
Or
right?
you mean that you say a glass and a can is different?
Yeah,
What do you say on glass?
if you drink water from a glass bottle versus water from a plastic bottle, it
No, he's
Yeah.
tastes
asking for a can.
different.
Oh yeah,
Can
Can
it's the same with a glass drink as well, innit? And a can. It's
yes,
different.
because this is it.
Yeah.
With the cans, they have to lace the can so it does not
Mhm.
rust, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you know that the soda in cans are corrosive.
Oh, I think
The
that goes with it.
carbonation will rust the
I
tin.
think that was it.
So we have
Facts.
to be careful. Yeah, we have to be
I think
careful.
that was it.
You see, a lot of things that we're ingesting nowadays, a lot of things that we're using nowadays are slowly having an effect on us, and we
Like Coca
don't
Cola.
know. You didn't you see Ronaldo was like, nah,
Becca,
nah,
bro.
nah, agua.
I sent Becca a video about Coke using it as a cleaning product, and
You said
that's
Coke, the
crazy,
nose candy. Blah!
bro. You can clean your windows, you can clean the
I'm
mold,
taking
you can
pictures because
clean.
of this test thing. Yeah,
Ah,
so the camera keeps
I
going off.
thought I thought you were talking about the nose candy. You know, oh,
No,
it is the drinking kind. But
no.
can you believe it? They
I don't
literally
like drugs.
Coke back in the days was laced with Coke. That's why they call it Coke.
I can't believe that's true, actually.
Yeah, it was. Research it. It's there. Look at it. Coke used to contain Coke.
Matter
Oh wait,
history is
are
good.
you telling me Coke used to be in Coke?
Yeah, yeah, it used
Is
to
it?
be.
How do you find
Yeah,
out?
man. When you've been around the internet as long as I have, you'll pick up some random shit.
That's where they got. That's why they named it Coke. Yeah.
All right, let me give you
No,
a next tip facts, guys.
it's it's cocoa leaves.
Still Coke, sir. What do you think they take?
Wait,
The Coke leaves are from the Coke plant. It still had the effect. A lot of people.
Coca-Cola's original formula called 5 ounces of cocoa leaves per gallon of syrup in 1903. The fresh leaves were removed and replaced with spent leaves, which had trace amounts of cocaine. By
You see?
1929, Coca-Cola was using
Oh,
cocaine-free
sorry. What did you
natural
say?
leaf
I missed it.
extracts.
Is it true? Yeah?
And they
Yeah,
sell a lot because a lot of people became addicted to to Coca-Cola.
so it's the
The
leaves. The
Coke.
leaves had traces of cocaine, but that's a bit interesting in the sense of like
Yeah.
obviously cocaine
Ah,
is manufactured, so
you want
as
me to give you
leaves
a next
contain cocaine.
interesting You want me to give you a next interesting fact that you guys didn't even think about? Listerine was created not as a mouthwash, but as a floor cleaning agent.
Okay. You know Kellogg's cornflakes were made to help men sperms sperm. I'm not even joking. That's a thing.
But it's strange because men nowadays have the lowest sperm count in history.
How do you what? Is that a fact? What the flip? Where's the saying bare things like
Yeah, the testosterone levels in men now is at an all-time low versus previous years. The gift that keeps on giving.
yes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Ah no, I can't be. That's find that one.
All
Go
right,
on,
look
tell
at
me
it.
one.
Back in the days, we used to have a lot more children running around, right? And if you look at it nowadays, our let's use the UK. The UK has a lot more old people than young people. And in the next couple of years, if we don't watch what we're doing, we're going to end up in a state like Japan. I've literally seen on YouTube where there's a school in Japan with literally only one student.
Nah, it's not possible.
One. No. If you Google it, there's a school with one student because their population is growing so old. She doesn't have anyone her age to play with. She has to eat lunch with the teachers. I'm like, it's sad. The
Yeah,
Japanese men, most of them, they're saying that they rather to they don't have time for relationships, right? They don't have time for relationships. They're too busy. Some of them prioritize their hobbies versus a woman because they're
it's
like,
true.
oh, if I get a woman, like I won't find time to do my hobbies. I'm like, man,
That's true.
I have a wife. I got 2 kids, right? And every day she would be like, "Oh, I want to spend time with you." I'm like, you're
But
beside me. We're watching TV
Japan
together.
is centered about what though? Like they just center around what? Even this realistically, the Asian work. Asian work is just. When I say Asian work, I mean Asian people that work. They just center around work more than anything. Like I've been in Japan.
Yeah.
You know this already. These men
Yep.
work from 12 hours to 14 hours a day. You know what I mean? And they start drinking.
Have you ever heard the term koroshi?
What's that?
They work till they die. You have when I first heard about it, like you will have Japanese people who work themselves to death. Literally, they would walk into work and just fall down dead, and they call it koroshi. I'm like, what the hell? They literally work themselves to death. I'm like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm calling in sick, right? Because if you die, they're still going to replace you if they want to replace you, regardless, right?
Yeah, but the work will be delayed. That's it. They're still
Yeah,
replaced.
the work.
But that goes for any business though. Like realistically, there's not one job that no one cannot be replaced.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You're not a company. You're just a person.
What we're doing now is that in this world,
you can replace you the next day. Someone passes away.
Not the next day, but like depending on the job, obviously. Like look at my instance.
No, I mean like.
Huh?
Go on.
Now, for instance, if I left my job right now, it'll take a good few weeks, maybe a months. No, a good few weeks to get my thing replaced. You know what I mean? But on a different position, something like a managing director might take 2-3 months. You know what I mean? A higher position
take a longer time. The higher you go, the harder it is to replace it, because then you have to retrain someone over, which might take months, right? And then you'd have to take a good couple of years to get them to the same standard as you had. So can you imagine if you had an overly high standard? That too, but you see, it comes back to health, right? Like, I'm looking back in the days, and people nowadays are far more, they have so much allergens. I went to a restaurant the other day, and one of the questions that they asked me, do you have any allergies? I'm like, no, not that I know of, right? They're like, oh, okay, great. Oh, we you know, and there was a big sigh of relief, and I'm like, I did not know this was such a stressful thing. I just thought people just said they didn't want gluten or anything, right? Wait, how did we reach from relationship? It's the fun of talking. It's just the fun of talking.
Conversation.
When you pour up the drink, that's when it turned into that.
I'm telling you,
if you
man.
drink and do this, I promise it'll be funny. Dumb conversations.
Man, I'm telling you, like the guys watching would be laughing too much, because I would be unhinged. That would be too unhinged. I wouldn't be too proper, but I'm telling you, right? We back to, let me just rewind everything back to it. But yeah, guys, we went over.
I was gonna say let's do this. So how to approach women? How do you do it? You tell the guys out there, how do you approach women?
All right.
Like this.
What is your confidence?
Your step.
What is your confidence level?
What do you do?
Confidence is first.
Okay.
You have to confidence. You have to pay attention.
Just to talk.
Confidence in yourself, because if you have confidence in yourself, you'll have the confidence to say any shit. You've seen that firsthand. I say some mad shit, and you have to do damage control. Right? So you have to just have confidence in yourself.
Drinking
right?
also helps, you know what I mean? So,
drinking lowers inhibition, and inhibition means that you lower your shame factor, which means that is liquid confidence, man.
Well, I'm not saying that you should drink to get confidence, like, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, confidence is definitely what's needed to get anybody.
You need confidence.
People need it though, innit? People need it, man.
You need it because the other day I did The other day I did an experiment. I did an experiment with my wife, and the changes in her expression was uncanny. I approached her like the jovial guy, like when I was in the 8th grade. I'm like, hey, how are you? And she just looked at me like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, okay, let me switch it up. I literally straighten my posture, right? Relax my shoulders, step confidently. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? And she's like, I'm okay. I'm like, good. What are you up to? And the look that I got from her when I changed my approach, right, was different. I've done this with other females. I used to just test things. I've tested the bad boy theory. I've tested the good guy theory. I've approached women with, hey, lovely weather where I have it. Don't talk to me. I'm like, what the hell, right? So you guys, you have to experiment, guys. You are going to get rejected.
Yeah,
That is
so
just part of it.
you shouldn't be scared of rejection. Wow,
Yes,
approaching people. So
like
you
CJ said
need
in San
confidence
Andreas. hmm
and not be scared of rejection at the
You
same time.
can't be afraid of rejection. There is
Okay.
5 billion
But
women
most
in the world.
people
If
are
one
afraid of rejection. That's the problem, isn't it?
It's
Most
definitely
people are
reject
scared.
that.
I don't like being
rejection
rejected
hurts.
myself in
No
anything.
one likes rejected.
You know what
Do
I mean?
you see how women behave when they get rejected?
They move mad. They start moving mad.
Yeah,
Crazy, man.
exactly, right.
Like you ain't shit
That
anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
you're probably gay. I'm like, what? I thought you guys
Facts.
love gay men.
You know what I mean? Go to your gay friend now.
No,
I was
nobody likes. Nobody wants to get rejected, innit? But you just need to handle it,
no,
man.
no, no one likes rejection, right?
Just
But
need to
you
handle it.
have to. When you get rejected, right? It's just a part of no guy out there has 100% win rate, right?
Ah,
They do get,
100%. No one.
yeah.
No one.
They even the best of the best man gets rejected.
Yeah.
Even the
No,
best of the best get rejected.
everyone's been
Yeah,
rejected
everyone's
Ah,
before,
getting their
but
life
you
has
have
been
to remember.
rejected.
Some of these girls don't even want to reject you. They're just trying to stunt. A lot of them they're
that's the
stunning
thing.
stuff for that.
That's why the approach is, because the next factor that we have to point out is, guys, when you're approaching the female, please don't approach them and put a lot of pressure on them, because
So
then
when
they
they
will
can,
more likely.
when they see you talk to someone else that they might know, pisses them off. So they're just stunning for no reason. So a
Yeah,
lot of
So
the
what?
time, some of these guys shouldn't
So
even get rejected.
would you say when you talk to them you keep it casual? You don't
yeah,
keep
it's
it
best to keep it
too deep.
light.
Don't ask
You can't
anything
just
too deep.
too deep, because then you'd be frightening them off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, for instance, you don't know each other yet, and then you're coming with heavy topics. Then, like, for instance, if you just meet a girl, don't be like, "What's your body count?"
That's mad.
Hell no. That
Very mad.
yeah. But the
I,
thing
I,
is,
Very
you
I, I
mad.
have
haven't
men.
said that, but I said something else, and yeah, it just went downhill straight away.
It's going to go down because that's very heavy.
Yes.
I think I
Man.
said it.
Or another
I
one.
must have said
This is
how
another
big is
thing.
how big is a girl's breast? That's all I said, bro.
Oh my god. Nah, I've never asked. I've
That's
never
what I said,
asked a
dude.
girl how
Oh
big is.
my
I've
No, you
never
need to
asked
check.
a girl
god,
how big is her breast. But
Craig
brother.
what
knows because
I've been.
this clip was on camera. This clip was on camera. He knows about this. This clip was on
Wait,
this clip
who
was.
did you ask?
I'm like, make sure he's on camera. You've seen the video before. The girl, remember?
I wouldn't ask a girl her breast size. What I would do, I would look at her and be like,
It was like
"Y-
the video's on
"You're a
camera, but I found out
35D, aren't you?" And she's like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "I'm a breastologist. I study boobs for a living."
You don't remember?
Nah, which camera was it on?
You
Your
even
cam,
put it on one of our videos one time. You put the picture on one of our videos. I just asked
the
her.
one from the bar.
It was like a bar, yeah. Like I asked her.
What the hell?
Yeah,
You were
I'll show
under
you.
the
I'll show
influence,
you.
weren't you? You were under the influence,
Yeah,
weren't
I
you,
was,
man?
I was,
Man
I was,
taking
I
the
was.
drinks.
I was drinking before I got
I
in there. I think before that.
I remember when I told you the Ray
Yeah.
and nephew hit hard, and you're like, "Nah, man, I've drink Ray and nephew before. I will
Oh,
never
when we came to yours,
forget."
when we came to
Ah,
yours, yeah.
Narration
man,
apparently.
You know what's
Apparently put
funny
a
about
rating.
that? Is when we came to yours that day, yeah, to drink at yours, I didn't have Ray nephew yet.
I
I didn't touch
remember
Ray.
remember everyone, Chad, was saying that, oh, Chad and Mr. Chin was the only one who were, you're gonna be wiped out. And at the
No,
end of the
I
day, it
hadn't.
was me
I
and
hadn't
Chad.
touched Ray definitely. One of my other friends got me into that drink. When he came to yours, I hadn't had Ray Nephew before.
Man, if
I don't
I
even know who
tell
it
you
was.
You
that I'm
drank
afraid
everything
of it,
else though. You drank everything else though.
Not
yes,
everything goes. There's bad drinks I haven't had. Not everything goes.
Nah, at the time, I mean, when you came down there, you were drinking other things.
yeah, we're drinking other things. Remember, we had a whole
Yeah.
lot of alcohol,
Yeah, there's
liquor,
a lot of
man.
stuff there, but I think there was just like
Man, we were
Captain Morgan.
drinking
Only
from
Captain Morgan
6 to
did
4 in the morning. From 6 to damn
that.
4. God bless we didn't get alcohol poisoning.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody threw up. Nobody threw up. Nobody was head gone.
Nah.
Everyone. Okay.
I was fine that night. The last time I've been bad though was at your birthday. That's the last time I've been bad.
What man?
Man,
What William? Whose birthday? Me or William?
Yours.
man, I haven't thrown a birthday party since I was what,
This year,
24, 25?
Nah, not this year.
Oh,
Man,
I
this
remember that.
Maybe
this year,
No, it's
this
the time
year's
I was going to
birthday.
bring Charlie back, and I drank so much.
Oh,
I had to go home.
yeah. Last year.
Yeah, I had to go home.
Man said, I'm going home. You know what this guy done? He's like, we left the house and he's like, yeah, you guys, I'll see you when I see you. And he walked away.
Damn,
Man.
I drank so much, bro. I had to go home.
I didn't know what to do. I had to take the girl with me. Man just left the yard. He's like, yeah, I'll see you when I see you. He walked away. I was like, okay. There you go.
That shows you the man tank did full at that point. The man say, yo, I'm out. I'm clocking out.
Hey.
Yeah, we left together, but he just went his own way. He just his own way.
Yeah, I took bus, then train, then I got home and I conked the hell out. Honestly.
Yeah, man. You see, liquor is good, man. We should drink a lot.
I'm not. My body's acting different these days, though. Like right now, my body like, pushes it out. It doesn't stay in my system anymore. It just pushes it out.
The same thing happened to me.
Yeah, it's releases it quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, because what happens is that your body, you see, your body is a very powerful machine because your body learns and adapts. It knows that you're going to drink this shit, and it says, instead of keeping this shit in, he disconnected. Just pass it out.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, we got to do that again, man. Just link up, drink up. Yeah, man, definitely. I want to see Raf. But to what I was saying, we're going to get rejected, man. Don't be afraid of the rejection. This is all part of the game plan, and this is going to help you temper your confidence. Because if you get rejected 1-2 times, you got to say what CJ said in San Andreas, man. I ain't afraid of rejection, right? All right, man. I can take rejection.
All right, 10 more minutes. Let me cut this. Yeah. So
yep.
Last question. So how do you spot the cues?
The cues.
Mm-hmm. Visual cues.
Say it in another direction. My brain's frazzled.
How do you spot the visual cues that women show?
Okay. They're subtle. Women don't. It's not easy for some women. It's not easy. It's body language. When you're speaking to them, are their hands folded? That shows that they've blocked you off. They've blocked the path. When you're talking to them, are their legs faced in your direction or is it facing away? Those signs shows that they want to get away from the conversation. These small things that we won't usually when they're talking to you, are they looking you in your face? Are they paying attention to what you're saying? Some of them will give you a little cue by playing with their hair. Some of them will put their hair behind their ears. There's a lot of small cues, right? Is she smiling a lot when you're speaking to her, right?
Yeah, but people smile just to smile, like to be friendly, as I said before.
Nah, you can tell when someone is smiling just out of courtesy than when they're genuinely interested.
Right. So have you not had times where someone's lied to you and you just didn't realize?
Oh, no.
You've always realized.
I wouldn't say I always realize the lie, but let me tell you, I always had a gut feeling, right? Like, to me, for instance, if I'm talking to someone and For instance, she's like, oh, she's giving me a vibe, and when I'm getting that vibe, she lies to me, right? I'm always using context clues, so I'm always paying attention to what they're saying. And
Wait,
men,
I'm
you have to pay attention, because if you pay attention to everything they say, women will tell on themselves. For instance, if she's like, yeah, you're interesting, da 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 da, and then she says something earlier in the conversation, and then later in the conversation she says something that contradicts what she said first, that's actually a sign that she's lying, right? I'm always like, it's a thing that I've learned from high school, context clues. I'm always paying attention to everything a person says to me,
I don't. I
right?
really doubt that you've noticed everyone that's like you though. It's very doubtful. Like Raf, have
No,
you noticed every
as
person
I
that's
said,
like
I
you?
had for in terms of relationship and approaching women, man, I'm always skeptical. It is bad to say, but I'm always skeptical at first, right? So whether they have lied to me or not, I'm still skeptical. Action speaks louder than words. You can say anything to me, right? But unless I see the action behind it, then I won't believe
Yeah,
it. Like I
that's
won't.
that's different though. But it's like, as I said, this is about
So,
visual cues.
all right,
So how?
give an example of what kind of lie you would say, because lies it's kind of broad. So, give an example, like what kind of lie you'd expect that they would tell, or what would I miss, or what just an example.
Um, or like just a line, just anything. Uh, so okay, so someone. This is kind of on the spot here, isn't it? Um,
Just take the time and think of
okay,
it.
right. Because sometimes like, you don't like to gas you up, so they're like, "Oh yeah, you're looking good today." You know what I mean? And you're like, "Oh, thank you, appreciate it." You know what I mean? I've honestly just
Ah,
said, I've honestly said, "Oh, you look nice," but I don't mean it in the sense of like, "Oh, I like you." You know what I mean?
all right.
But
I'm
yo,
glad you said
you
that.
can yo boys, can you am I moving? Both you are frozen.
Yeah, you're
yeah,
moving
I can
to
hear you.
us. You're looking
Both
pretty
you are
clear on
frozen
my
for the
side.
moment. You're both frozen. You're both frozen. I don't know why.
I can see you moving.
No, it's not about me. I'm wondering why you're both frozen. You're both frozen.
Yeah, but
Mm.
on
Because
ours,
I
like
can hear
I'm
you.
seeing everyone is moving. So it's probably
Maybe we're just
some
leaving, but
connection issue.
yeah, some reason you're both frozen, but maybe.
Eh. So I'm glad you brought that up, chat, because how with that there was a thing on YouTube that causes that is called micro expression, right? For instance, let me move the mic for a bit, right? So for instance, right, I look at someone, and this is not my usual face, but this is just for example purposes. Like I would look at a girl, I'm like, sometimes you'll see it in my eyes where I would say, you're very beautiful. Yeah, you're very beautiful. Right. The expression that I would make in a quick second is not one that is pleasing. Like if I'm
If I
saying,
want, I wouldn't say you're very beautiful. Like it wouldn't be something so direct. You know what I mean? What you're saying is
yeah,
quite
but I'm
direct.
just giving an example because that's why it's called micro expression, because it's there for a split second and you can miss it, right? So if you're, for instance, if you're talking to someone and you're paying them attention, like I'm looking at you now, right? And if your mouth twitches, I would see it, right? But that's like, that is something far, that's an advanced psychological trick that you'd have to learn to actually, for instance, the guy was saying on YouTube, you have some people when they're greeting you, right? When they see, like, you greet them, hi, he says, in a split second, you can tell how they really feel before the facade comes on their face, right? Like in a split second, you'll see like their eyebrows, if their face is very animated, you can see like a twinge of displeasure, but it's something
Mm.
so fast that you can miss it. So you'd have to constantly search for it till you get used to it. He says that when they see you and they answer you before the facade comes on, you'd see the how they actually feel before they start to smile, right? So, for instance,
Mhm.
you have a friend that's very annoying, right? And he's like, yo, Chad, how you doing? And you see him, and in your mind, you're like, man, this guy, and you're like, oh yeah, how you doing? So you see in that split second, right? You can see a micro expression that's happening before the facade comes on, and you're like, yeah, we tolerate him, but he's annoying, and we don't really want him around like that, right? Because we can't. Sometimes you just can't bother with his behavior. But
I
these
can't
are
even
stuff that
find
he
them.
add.
Don't know why they didn't find them. Hey, can you see on my screen? Yeah. But then I left, but no, it's not letting me back in.
You're in.
I can hear you. I can see you.
We all are seeing you, sir. Yes, Raf, you're in. Yeah, but my last point, yeah, it's the micro expression. So this is not something that anyone will see. When I was young, women would lie to me left, right, and center. They would literally tell me shit, then laugh. They would laugh at me, right? That's what I'm saying. This is advanced. When I was young, they would tell me shit, then laugh at my face, and I thought they were just joyful with me, right? And they would take the piss. But when I got older and I learned this stuff about women now, when women tell me shit, I would just look. I'll be like, oh, thank you. And then they'll be like, what? Why aren't you accepting my compliment? I'm like, listen, I've grown hardened. I'm not used to compliments, but I do thank you for them. It makes a difference. That's it. You won't see me be like, oh, thank you. No, I'd be like, thank you for the compliment, right? I do appreciate it. But to me, actions speak louder than where you can tell me that I look good, right? But if you keep your distance from me, but you're saying that I look good, I won't believe that, right? You can tell me that you like me, but your action shows otherwise, I won't believe that. Because when a woman likes a man, right, they operate different than when they just, when there's no feelings behind anything. Mind you have dude, I'm talking about general. You have people go on the extreme spectrum saying, well, you have women that are not in touch, they can't outwardly express. No, we're not talking about those are for a different conversation. Those are on the extreme end. But for the general women, yeah.
Okay. So to wrap this up, how would you explain each part? So what would you do?
So first,
Each
guys,
part.
get the confidence. So once you have
Mm-hmm.
the confidence, you pay attention to the surrounding, time and place for everything. If the girl is with her friends, guys, if your confidence is God tier, I tell you go for it. Right? Just be careful that it's a
Never be
higher
me.
chance that you'll get
Never be me. I'm
that
staying
there's a
away.
higher chance.
I'm staying away. If it's
Man,
more
I'm
than
staying
two
away.
people, I'm walking a
Hell
different
no.
way.
I am not approaching no girl with a bunch of her friends unless if all of us guys are there and then we approach, then yeah, because I got my backatives, I got my side men. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's me alone, I ain't being those 300 versus 5,000. Hell no. I kind of like my dignity intact, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
For real,
if
man.
your confidence is God tier, go for it. Time
Bro.
and place. If she's with a bunch of her friends and you're alone, you can either wait till she's by herself, then you try to strike up a conversation, right? If not, you determine if you are brave enough to tackle that mountain. Three, once you go, if you're trying to start up a conversation with her, right? If she shows any form of discomfort, right? Don't take it long. Short and spicy. Hi, how you doing? You try to make the conversation engaging. Once you see that she's fully engaged, stop the conversation there. Don't even give her the pleasure of having it. Stop the conversation there. Tell her that, listen, you gotta go, but it was very interesting speaking to her. Don't take her number. Give her your number. Hey, say to her, like, I gotta rush, but here's my number. contact me and we can continue with the conversation. I really enjoyed speaking to you and get out of there, right?
And what if she don't
The
message you?
conver-
You keep doing
if
the
she don't
same thing
message
you're
you,
doing.
then she was not interested. That's how you find out if they're interested. When you give them your
But
number
wouldn't that
and you
be
say
some
it,
disappointment? You know what I mean?
it would
Like
be
a rejection in a
disappointment, but
sense.
here's the thing. That's a soft rejection, right? It beats her telling you in front of her friends that I'm not interested,
True.
right? And
It's-
it depends on
true.
how well you get her engaged, because that's the thing, you know.
Very
You see, she's well engaged in the topic, where she's well invested in the topic you're talking about, then you cut it short. And have you ever gotten a treat? Have you ever eaten something and you've never completed it, but you love it so much that you're like, oh, let me just look away for a bit. Excuse me. Have you ever had for instance, you're eating ice cream and you're enjoying the ice cream, then it just falls off the cone? What
upset.
what are you gonna do? Are you gonna get more ice cream? Or you're gonna stay
Nah.
there looking at that ice cream that fell?
Bro, I'm gonna walk away, man. I'm gonna be upset. That's me, man.
Raf, you're
I
muted.
can't hear what he's on mute, bro. Let me see. I can't hear what you're saying. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check your thing. Let me see. He's not on mute though. On my end.
We can't hear him.
I muted him now.
Yeah, it's still not working. Ah.
Yeah, I don't know. Talk.
Man, Raf is always having some technical glitches.
Talk.
He's gonna pop back in and it should work then. But yeah, like if you're well invested in something and it cuts short, for instance, let me use anime or anime. Have you ever watched an interesting episode and then they finish it and then they what? Yeah, we're hearing you now.
Oh yeah. So what I was trying to say was, when you said the ice cream thing about the cone,
Mm-hmm.
that actually happened to this guy here. He was in a waffle. He was in a waffle,
Yeah.
and he was enjoying the waffle so much that he tripped up. When you're walking on the pavement and there's them block things, he was enjoying the waffle so much that he enjoyed the waffle so much that he walked into the block. So he dropped the waffle.
Block, yeah. It's like up to my knees, yeah.
What did he do?
I left it. I told you. I'll keep walking. That's the same situation. I kept walking, bro. I left it.
I'm going back for it. I'm going back for another.
He lost the waffle in it, but there was a girl there. I don't know if Bessie's still in the chat. She was even trying to hide the laugh. She was just laughing.
Who?
Like when you fucking buy that. She was laughing there, but
Hey,
I was right there.
I remember Rebecca laughing. I don't remember anyone else.
If I did me,
oh yeah.
May I tell you guys, if it was me and I was enjoying that waffle cone and I tripped in front of a girl and I fell and she was laughing, I would just look up and say, "Baby, I fell for you. Done this and walk away."
I'm not doing it for Bex.
You gotta style it out. You gotta style it out, man. You gotta style it out.
Man,
that's different, isn't it?
In Jamaica, when we fall, let me tell you, it's a weird psychological thing, but in Jamaica, when we fall in public, we have to laugh at ourselves first before anybody else laugh at us. Because I say, if you laugh off of me first, I go vex. I go upset. But I say, if me laugh off of myself first, then you laugh off of me after me no feel no way. It's a strange thing, but it's a thing. Right? If you ask a lot of them, if you fall in public, would you rather to laugh at yourself first or have someone laugh at you first? And everyone is going to tell, I'd rather laugh at myself first.
You kind of have to laugh, but then when
he fell off again.
Don't affect you too much. I hear it though.
Man. But Chad, when is our next live again? Inform the masses.
Next week. Now we have to make a plan on what they do, but we will do another live
the guy
once a week, hopefully. we're gonna have different topics for that. Like obviously, spam your topics on the comments that you want to talk about. That way, we can
Give the
obviously
active media email address, and guys, you can email us your topics, what you want to talk about. If you see anything interesting that you want us to comment on, just send it to us, guys. Put the active media.
When try to say once a week, well, you can go back on the weekend, bro. How do you do once a week?
No, at least I said once a week.
At least, meaning that it's one or more, depending on the time frame. And I know the guys kind of like the madness. You know, guys, we soon approach it.
You man like come and doing things late. You know what I mean? When I'm ready, you're not ready. You know what I mean? So, problem isn't it?
No,
what we're gonna do is that
Saturday. We're gonna do Saturday, and then you said you're going up. Saturday's the perfect day. Saturday night is the perfect day.
Sunday was good too.
Yeah, well, Saturday most people don't have work on the next day. I mean, I don't know if you do, but
all right. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. Whenever me and Chad will kick it off early, so that we have the early part out when you guys ready to just jump on, and then we can do everything when you're all ready. So if, for instance, if me and Chad can start off at 8, and then we kick it up to any point where Chad has to fall off, then we'll continue with the rest. But man, Chad can kick it off, and then we can say, yeah, we can give the masses them an earlier time. Whenever we have it, we just come out, we just enjoy ourselves. As I said, guys, just give out the active media email address, so anybody them can email us what they want us to talk about. If them have anything they want us to give any advice. Now, people, I'm telling you, I can give good advice and I can give bad advice.
Nah, we can respond. So at TamiaSquad@gmail.com. So anyone have any questions?
We're not on that level yet, so no one's going to email. We're not on that level yet.
If you really want to talk,
you give it out regardless. Yeah, you give it out regardless. You never know.
Give it to you.
You never know. As me say, you never know. Sir, listen to me. You never know.
No, I'm just asking. Give it to who?
No, you just put it out there. So if anybody see it or them see the clip afterwards, sir, they can say, oh, and send it in. You're just sending out the email to know that
we got enough subs on this channel for people to join. We're not on that level yet. No one's gonna.
Yeah, but we have to give them a time frame, because we can't just randomly get up and expect we're gonna get a lot of crowd, because they won't.
We got over 100 subs on this thing. More people should even be in this chat right now, but we're not on that level.
But they did not know we were going to do a live today, so we were supposed to do the live on Sunday or Saturday.
I don't know if
if we make it like every Mondays or every Sunday.
Yeah, everyone will know that they should come in. On Mondays they're expecting to see us, so then you'll have Saturday, the turnout.
I don't recommend Monday. It's got to be like a Saturday.
I work Saturday sometimes, and I have like
you can do it when you come back, unless you're working through up until late.
All right.
When you come back.
So here's how we're going to do it.
You can't do Saturday night when you come back. Obviously, you're going out.
We're going to pick like either 2 days where if
we're going to pick
like 2 days, like we can do it on the weekends, but what we're going to do is that we're going to inform everybody early, right? We just send out a little short, hey guys, we're going to have a live stream XYZ time, and then everyone look forward to it. You send a little announcement out before, just do the lives. We'll get a lot more people joining in.
Yeah, I don't know what you think, but I'm just thinking surely Friday or Saturday. Surely, at least one of the days. Surely.
We can try to.
You man, I'm cutting off the live in it, so you guys stay on the thing. But yeah, guys, subscribe, like, share. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.
Yeah, it's cool. I guess we'll end it now. Wait.